Hi, Giovanni. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
So, could you tell us a little bit about Covermymeds? You are a DBA currently at Covermymeds, correct?
Covermymeds is all about helping people get their medication. So they they started automating the process where the people get approval for medicines. Before there were a lot of faxes, a lot of manual process, and especially for hard to find medicines like medicines for cancer, etc. So the company dedicated to help automate the process so we can expedite the process, and so customers or people can get their medicine on timely manner.
So, you mean to say when I go to Walgreens or a store like that, the approval is faster and easier through Covermymeds? I didn't understand how it works.
So yes, it works. It could be in the pharmacy. The food pharmacy we have we have some pharmacies as customer, but also some people they call us or they use our system to get approval for, let's say, people has cancer, people has another of these very difficult conditions, and those medicines are expensive and hard to get. So so we serve as a process where we connect to pharmaceuticals, we connect to pharmacies, we connect
Doctors?
to doctors and to plan and to health insurance, and we make the process easier to get that approved. In the end, our final goal is to make a medicine approachable for everybody, and that's the core of our business.
Now, let us talk about your on-call incidents. You have 200 servers. I believe you should be receiving some on-call incidents on a regular basis.
Yes.
And our users are interested to know them, like what are the common on-call incidents you guys get and how do you address them?
Mostly the most common is resource consumption. Like sometimes the server runs too hot, and sometimes it's because some developers started to develop a new feature, and that's the thing with software. When you work in a company that is software as a service, is that you can never predict how a customer is going to use the software. So when you create this unique query, you might think that it's going to be run like maybe 100 times or 200 times, but in the end, might get executed thousands of times because so keeping an eye on performance and Postgres is a little bit tricky on the performance side because unlike SQL Server, you just tell them things like these are the CPUs, this is the memory. You just do what you want to do. Postgres, you have to actually set it. Like you have to. This is for workmen. This is for shared buffers. This is for maintenance workmen. Keeping that can be a little bit tricky.
Yeah, you're right. Like, the configuration parameters, if you just use defaults, they won't work in Postgres. So
Yeah.
There's a lot of configuration parameters.
Yeah. But that's it. That's basically the most common in our case. In our most our most common this and also lag in replication. But that's when sometimes we have, especially at night, we have batch processes that runs every night. So that causes a lot of activity, and sometimes and when we have a couple of data centers, so they have to go across some data centers. So it takes when you have a batch activity like that, can take some time to sync to the replicas in other data centers.
Yeah, I totally get it. When there's batch activity, the lag will go up, and after some time, the replica will catch up. Yeah, I mean, so do you kind of snooze the alerts during that period because you don't want to be alerted midnight if there is a known batch activity, right?
So yeah, we tune the alerts. We use Datadog and we tune the alerts, and when we know, but sometimes sometimes some business units add some processes and we don't know about it. So the first time we get it, and it sometimes there's this a little bit of miscommunication. It's not that common. We communicate pretty well, but sometimes happens.
So what is the tolerable lag in your case? Because let's say in some cases people say under 100 seconds, we are good, don't alert us. But above 100 seconds, alert us. In some cases, people are very sensitive to replication lag. And even if it is 20 seconds, 30 seconds, they want to be alerted. Like in your case, is there any number in your mind in your case that you guys alert for?
So at night, during the day, we 5 minutes. 5 minutes. At night, half an hour, because we know at night we're gonna get slack, we're gonna get behind, so we don't want to get alerted just because.
Yeah, I understand. It depends on the criticality of the app, and if the app is directly consuming the data, reading the data from the replica, sometimes some apps doesn't want any kind of lag, right? Although it's hard, right? Some apps are very strict there. Yeah, I know it's totally depending on business use case. And then how about your current version of Postgres, and what is the upgrade path? What are some issues you're encountering? Any insights on that?
So we have 12. We are planning on going to 15 pretty soon, and our plans is going side by side upgrade. One of the things I love PostgreSQL, but one of the things is Postgres you cannot do in place upgrade without downtime.
Yep.
And it can take a long time. So but since version 10, they added logical replication. So now we can replicate the data across versions. So we can set up a cluster with version 15, set up replication, and then at some time make the flip.
So basically you are leveraging logical replication?
Yes.
Wow, that is really good. Yeah, I think with logical replication, you should be able to do, version upgrades better, right? Yeah.
Believe it or not, in our business, even at night and even on weekends, even Saturday at midnight, we have customers connected, processing, asking for medicine. So business continuity is a must in our business, and we work towards that.
So it's a very critical environment, and you cannot afford downtime. Yeah, but logical replication has some limitations, right? For example, DDL, etc. So for that window, you need to make sure you are aware of the limitations. And but one of the common issues in streaming replication is wall not found, right? Sometimes the replication breaks with a message saying wall not found. Did you guys address these kind of issues? Did you use the replication slots, or what is your take on this? Because when you manage like 50 or 100 clusters of streaming replication, this is one of the common issue we see, right? Sometimes our archiving method has some issues, or somebody deleted old log files, or whatever. There is a lag and it is trying to catch up, but it is missing the wall file. We need to resync the replica, right? So have you encountered this kind of issues? And some people use replication slots to address this, and I just wanted to know what you guys use and what is your take on that.
We have first of all, we have a very strong environment. Like, it's not easy to get into the servers and do stuff without people knowing. That's one. And we don't used to do that just because of that. And second, we have a good wall lake setup. The trick, so we have a wall lake accessible to all the nodes. It's on each data center, and it's with the restore command allows you to either try to get from the local disk, but if it's not, if it fails, it's gonna be in the wall lake. Getting wall files from the wall lake is a little bit slower, but it will catch up. So I can tell you, in the 2 years that I've been in this company, I've never had to rebuild replication in Postgres because of that well set up environment.
That's really good. Probably you guys have a robust wall management system, and you use a restore underscore command as needed. And I mean, there's no chance of missing wall file in your case, but in some environment, like people do see and they have to restore, which is a problem where you have to restore like every once in 2 weeks.
There's always a risk. There's always a risk, but we are thankfully we have a very strict environment and hasn't happened.
Is there anything you want to share for our audience, like any hard hitting issues or any challenges or any interesting things that you encountered through your experience at Covermymeds or different places you work?
Yeah. So in different places, what I found is that to really help in a company, you have to work side by side with the developers. Try to get to know your developers, to know, because a database, I mean, it's, see, if a bad design, a bad schema, or if the developer does a bad design, it's gonna be really difficult to work as a DBA. But if you work with the DBA side by side in the design, and you give your input into how these things should be when you design the should be architecture, things are better because we can give our insight and the company can make the best out of the database.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I think we need to work closely with the development teams because we need to understand their problems. Even sometimes, right, simple schema change could cause an outage.